Good afternoon. This is the e-commerce show, and we're so excited to have you here. And today, Brandon is super busy. He's got a backlog of, can you imagine, 2,000 orders?
No.
Can you imagine?
No.
So today, I have the lovely Jenny Hansen sitting in as a substitute co-host in Brandon's spot. So we're so excited to be here.
I'm so excited.
Today.
Yes, thank you, Becky. I've been a fan and following the e-commerce show since the beginning. So
Good.
I'm excited to be here as a guest today. Thank you for having me.
That's why you're here. You're one of our loyal followers. So we're so excited to have you here. So today we're talking about mentors and how to use, or what mentors you've had, how to find mentors, the whole bit. Hi, Bonnie. Hey, how are you doing? Got her in the chat. Yay. So yeah, we're so excited to talk about mentors. So mentors are somebody, I've had mentors my whole business career,
Carrie?
And they're really important to me. How about you? Carrie, hey, Carrie.
Absolutely. And I'm one of those people that are big believers in that, people think, okay, I need a mentor right by my side, because to lean on someone there, which is fantastic, not always realistic, whatever situation you're in. So there's always books and people out there in the interwebs that I feel like, can be your mentors as well. So that's
exactly. They can be, in person and books, they can be even blogs or other things like that. But I know my very first mentor probably didn't even know he was a mentor for me.
Right.
Yeah, he was. So when I had my Bath and Body shop, I launched my own brand, and my intent was just to have Bath and Body products in my own store. And that was it. I never planned on going any further. And I had this line of products that there was like 8 SKUs. They had my label on, and it was just, my intent was just to kind of leave that there. But he came into my store, picked up the product and said, hey, next time you print your labels, leave University Mall off. So when you go national, you won't have to reprint. He put this seed in my mind like that. And then I started, just networking with him and learning more and more. And within a year, I had launched my Bath and Body products that were in my store on the national market. So from that point on, mentors have been very, very important and integral in a lot of my business decisions. In fact, I have a mentor and a coach now, even though I've been in business 25 years.
Wow, that's so inspiring, and kind of get your crap into gear, Jenny, because that is seriously so amazing. You're that's something, knowing that that's something you always need to have, right? Yeah. That's definitely someone that's going to keep you accountable, keep you focused, keep you on track, let you know what the next step is, if they've done it before or not, So absolutely. So do you have other mentors that when you're first starting out before you could really,
mentors kind of come and go, based on what you're needing. For example, I have had mentors. I look for mentors in a position that I want to be. They've been where I want to be. So it's somebody who's been down the road. And it's hard to just go to a stranger and say, can you be a mentor? You can't really do that. You have to kind of network and get in. But I've had different ones come and go. I had another one as I was expanding and growing. One of the guys that owned the showroom in Atlanta that my products were based in. He's the guy who helped me branch into China and start sourcing in China. And it was the same situation. It was like the other guy got me started on the national market. Once I got on the national market, then the new mentor got me expanding beyond the national market, and I put my footprint into China based on him. And the way he did that, he came up to me after one of the shows and he said, okay, you've had a really, really good show and I'm really excited for you, but what are you going to do to anniversary your numbers next show? And I'm like, wow, that was really a compelling question, because it got me thinking and going, I need to always kind of be thinking ahead and going, how can I improve myself? How can I do better? And I said to him, I said, okay, I want to be bigger than you are here. And he had a big 35,000 square foot showroom. And he just laughed. And he looked at his watch like this. And he goes, what are you doing to get there?
Yeah.
He's like, you can't just say it. You have to do something to get action steps.
Well, all the big shots online, and even you've said this too, Becky, is the whole is thinking long term, right? And I'm a huge Gary Vaynerchuk fan, right?
Love him.
Here. It was so cool. And he always says that too, have patience and to really think of the long game. And you say the same thing. You're like, make sure you're really thinking not just what 6 months from now or a year from now, but make sure you know what you're thinking 3 years and 5 years. And I had this woman who actually started a nail client for me who has she's the, her husband's a CEO. She's CFO, I believe, or no. Yeah, CFO.
Yeah. The financial guy,
like,
yeah.
Or CO, I don't know. Shoot, I'm sorry. I should know this. Sorry. It's like,
that's all right. So a C-level position.
Yeah. So, well, to her and her husband, basically, together, 50-50, hand in hand. She did a lot. I want to say COO. Is that a thing?
That's operations. That's the operations guy. Yeah.
That's what she did. Okay. So anyway, I did her nails, and because if people who don't know a lot about my background is like, I've been in the beauty industry for 12 years, and that's, so I've had the pleasure of being like doing manicures on a lot of really successful people. And a lot of those clients have been mentors in my life. And this one woman in particular, who I guarantee you have one of her products sitting in your cupboard right now. And she would tell me as a product, she'd say, hey, okay, and she'd kind of push me a little with Create Beverages, which is a small product-based company I started. And I wouldn't even call it a company, it's just like it's an infant. It's not even an infant. It's still a
startup. It's a startup.
Yeah, we can say that. I'm like, I got it to exist, and now I have no idea how to raise it. But she helped me through that process a little bit and stopped me from making some big mistakes that I would have made if I wouldn't have had a mentor just saying, hey, here's the next step to think about.
Yeah, you always kind of have to be thinking that through. So it was really fun for me to have this guy, kind of take me under his wing for 2 or 3 years until I really got my business launched. And since that point, I know I've mentored a lot of people along the way too, helping them. I'd like to think I've helped Brandon push his business. I mean, look at where that kid is compared to where he used to be. He's so busy he can't even be on today's show.
No, I know. I'm like, we used to have time to chat on Zoom every once in a while, and now I'm like, hey, how are you? And he's just like busy. I'm like,
yeah, he's got a big, huge backlog, and he's hiring. He's like interviewing all day today.
That's awesome.
Fill about 6 positions, so that's really cool too. I'm happy to see his business grow so much. So mentors are so important. So what mentors do you look for in books besides Gary Vee? Now I read all of his books too. I love him as well.
Crush is a major big one. I've listened to that on Audible 4 or 5 times. It's just, and that's good if you're in the digital world too, for like having a blog, doing a show. Even what you're doing now with the show and the e-commerce show is to, get it going, do it consistently, have it going, and then opportunities, things can start to come, sponsor, all of that is Crush. It's really good for that. So some clients I've had, which has been amazing, right? That I told you about. And other books that I love, A Big Leap is a huge one.
That's a good one. I just read that one actually.
Really? Oh, that's one of my favorites. Yes. And the whole upper limit problem, like,
yeah, that's funny you would say that book because I seriously just finished that book.
That's great.
That's a really good book.
That's a great book. Blue Ocean Strategy.
I love that book too.
Tribes, The War of Art, Going Pro.
I've read all those. Yeah,
that's hilarious. See it? There you go.
I think they're entrepreneur books. I think most entrepreneurs like to read, and that's one of the things. I've always been an avid reader and still like to read 1 or 2 books a week.
Well, and there's your classics too, like some that are just the classics that you have to have in there, right? But what do you think is a good starting book for people?
For entrepreneurs that are starting out?
They're just starting.
I don't know. I know when I was starting, I like to read something in every department. Like I would do marketing, then I would do sales, I would do finance. And then I always like to throw every other book in, a personal development book, because that's one of the things as an entrepreneur, you have to have that personal development going all the time. So when you have the slumps, you can have the the strength to get yourself back up by the bootstraps and not stay in a funk or not stay depressed. And it's like that constant forward motion. So I know when I was starting out, I read a lot of like Tony Robbins and
I love him.
yeah. And I think I read just about every marketing book that would come out. You know, I kept Barnes and Noble in business, I swear, back in the day.
There's a one on sales too that's called, like, I want to say The Psychology of Sales. That's a good one. The 80-20 sales, that's a good one. I don't know. I could like just pull up my. Like,
I just read another really good one in the last week or so, and it's called The Go Giver.
Oh, I haven't heard
that one. Oh, it's an incredible, and it's like written in story format, but the lessons in that book are incredible.
Yeah,
I had a trip to San Diego to meet with my mastermind and business coach, and she gave me that book, and I read it my husband drove, and I read it on the way back. It was an incredible book.
I'm like writing it down.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. So Jenny, what are some of the issues with your business? I know you're in a product-based business. What are some of the issues that you're having that you would look for a mentor or want help with?
100%. Like, and again, you know, with your show and what you're doing is you're basically mentoring your audience and bring everyone on the show. And I think it's amazing and fantastic. I get so much value from watching your show. So I hope by me being super vulnerable and raw, this can help some people that are maybe in my stuck place. But I do find myself in a situation where I really had this deep in my soul desire to create a product. And I remember I was watching that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know Anyway? Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
So long story short, it's about this Japanese, I want to say photographer, and he would take pictures of water molecules on like a molecular level. And he created this whole gallery, right, of where he would have one molecule of a drop like of water really magnified close up, and it would be like this really beautiful snowflake looking water. And then he'd have another one that was all chaotic and ugly and didn't have a particular design to it. And the whole study was that he had like these monks come in and bless water, or he would take the bottles of water and he would write hate on one and love on the other, and then he'd photograph how just the molecules would change with the water depending on what intention was in this vibration of the water. It's fascinating. So he has a whole book, this whole thing, this fascinating thing, and I'm woo-woo, I'm out there. So you and I are probably a good balance here. But so I thought that's such a great idea, and my husband and I started doing Reiki and became licensed and certified Reiki master teacher practitioners at the time. And that's energy work, balancing chakra points, things like that, right? Yeah. Have you ever had it at like a spa or anything?
Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of massage therapists actually have to learn their Reiki 1. It's starting to be recognized in certain hospitals for their nursing program in like California. And there's a couple insurance companies that even cover it now. It's just so amazing to see. And I think early on this trend because I'm really futuristic, right? So I started thinking, okay, I do Reiki and I just watched this thing on the water. Why isn't there a bottled water out there of spring water that has positive statements already on the bottles?
Yeah.
Right? I couldn't find anything. And I eventually came across someone who was doing it, but it was very like tacky looking. Like it looked like, I mean, I don't want to be like offensive, but it looked just cheap. It looked so cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm a designer, creative at heart. And so I had the vision to do it. I tried to put it off. It kept nagging at me. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it. Learned how to build a website, found where I could find fresh spring water, locally sourced, a manufacturer who could like put it in like the bottles I wanted. I mean, I had to fight for all these things. I designed the labels myself. And so I have the line of these Reiki Blessed bottles of water that have I am statements on the front of each label that are positive and encouraging. And then I charge them up with Reiki. So I started this business, started this company, started selling, realizing that shipping water,
it's expensive.
Right?
It's like candles. It's expensive. Yeah.
What was I thinking?
So you had a challenge going outside of your local area.
Yes. And so that was a massive and it's funny, if Carrie's still on, she's actually had some of the bottles at her retreats or some of her workshops before. And
yeah, she does some incredible workshops. Yeah.
Yeah. And she loves them. And she's so sweet. She would say, oh my gosh, my people, they love the waters.
I bet they do. Yeah.
I had it at Sundance. I had it at local events. Like, it was big, and it went way too big for me. I was not prepared at the time. It was just little me. I have two youngsters, right? I have an 8 and a 3-year-old. So at the time, I was 9 months pregnant, having contractions, about ready to deliver. And Carrie's like, yes, hurry. I'm like having contractions in that pre-labor. It was like 3 days before I gave birth, like working on my website. Like, I'm going to figure out WordPress, right? I'll never forget that. So it went really well. I borrowed like $1,400 to get the trademark, to get the first round, to get the labels. Becky, I wouldn't even let the bottling company put the labels on the bottles for me, because I knew I could myself. I literally hand label every freaking bottle.
Oh my goodness. We all
start there. And I was like, I can't lose it if there's like a little bump. And he tried to get me to do something cheaper, like the paper.
Yeah.
And I should be drinking one of mine. But anyway, I'm out.
Yeah.
I have like 2 cases left and I'm hoarding. I'm in this place right now. So I just worked, sold what I could. Sold everything, got out of debt. I filed the trademark, got the trademark, did all this, everything, go. Hit every emotional wall imaginable, where you're on the floor crying, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then finally started to slow it down. I got it into a couple little local boutiques. A local grocery store said they'd carry it. Then I freaked out.
Oh, seriously? So you quit?
I just went, and I just took a step back and was like, okay, get back with you, and just paused the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's where I am right now, because, okay, I don't have, any debt, right? I have to pay back. I broke even. The little bit of money that I made from it, like the few $100s I ended up making from doing this first round, just went right back into things. And it's like, okay, now I'm at a point of, do we reorder the labels? Do we reorder the bottles? Do I go to a higher scale? But at the same time, I don't have another like $1,500, right, for an order. So I'd have to just get more money, get more out there, get more going. So I'm stuck in, do I start hitting up the local shops and say, get some pre-orders in?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
You can get pre-orders. We've got an echo. Can you hear the echo? All of a sudden I have an echo.
Oh, no, I can't. But I have a mic. Should I plug it in?
Yeah, if you have a headset, because all of a sudden it started. I don't know if they can hear it. The people that are on can hear it or not, but I'm hearing it on my end, an echo. And it's probably the headset. So oh, that's a bad echo now.
It's worse now.
Say something. Let me see.
Okay. So my mic, is that worse?
No, that's better. Okay, that's better there. No echo. Bonnie doesn't hear the echo. Am I the only one hearing the echo? Okay, so it's better since you did whatever you did.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. So you're right now, let me understand where you are right now. Your business is on pause, but you have the trademark, you have the brand, you have everything. So is the challenge getting money to buy inventory to get it started up again, or is the challenge fear of scaling it?
Both. Because, again, I'm a mom. I have 2 small kids, which is it's not going to stop me.
Right. What you could do is start taking pre-orders so that you get money so that you can invest. But you have to be straight with
I'll turn my volume down.
She said turn down the microphone. Okay. How's that? But you have to be straight with telling them that you're going to ship later. Because typically when people order, they expect to get those orders right away. Now, let me tell you another thing that you can do too. If you can get orders for bigger accounts,
yes,
there's places that will fund you. There's places now. So like bluevine.com.
I need my notebook. I'm pulling a Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah, bluevine.com is a place that will fund to do your bigger accounts. They'll help you. And there's also, if you start Googling around factoring companies will help fund you to go into the bigger accounts. I could see what you're doing be something that would be really big in like a Whole Foods or the natural places, or what about the yoga shops? What about all of those?
Oh, I'm so there with you. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay, so here's, I guess you have to have, I was going to try to help you get around the freight issue, but since it's the blessed water you're sending, I was going to say, is there any way you could sell the labels? You could sell the labels and let them pick up the water in their locations? And
I thought about that too, because I actually even talked to a patent attorney about patenting labels that people could just buy the packets of labels and they could change out their labels. And he was basically like, you sure you want to spend 20 grand on stickers? Like
yeah.
So I was like, don't have that.
No, I'm just trying to think of ways around that it's heavy. Could you do smaller bottles that are lighter in weight? So it's not the big tall ones, the little sizes?
Great idea. Because right now I have the 16 ounces. They're all the clear, they're the bottled ones. I should go grab one.
Because I've seen them before on your website. They're the big tall ones. It's a beautiful brand.
Thank you.
So I'm thinking if you could even do the smaller sizes where they could fit in a post office flat rate box, you could fit so many lined up, then that might be, a way to offset it. Because I know that they have flat rate shipping, where is it $5 or $6 to go across the country, unlimited weight, as long as it can fit in that box.
Exactly.
That might be a way around it too.
Yes, that's so good. And then do smaller ones. I love that. And then I have, the encouraging statements on the front. You just scale that down a little bit. That would definitely work. But I've thought of other things too. Do I need to shift and go into, the candles, a tea line? Brandon was actually like, Jenny, do tea, with the Create Me I Am and that whole or apparel, things like that. They're a little easier to ship or have a drop shipper. Things, that are a little bit
it would be so easy to do too. Because you could have somebody private label it for you. So you could outsource the tea and have it printed with your own label.
Exactly.
Or you could have them ship it into you, put your label on it. The nice thing about tea is it'll fit in an envelope.
Exactly. Right?
So and
the water, the bottled water, that's something that the Reiki needs to be charged with, because it's like the actual water that you're not charging.
You're doing the natural or the pure water. Yeah.
Actually, it's up near the spring is near Park City, Utah. So, which is great, because then that's another local great place that people love. They're like, oh, Park City, they know it from Sundance. And, like I said, it was cool when we were up at Sundance. But, all the hotels up there, Deer Valley, totally thinking about that. If I really had the capital, I would expand, go into the teas. I would go into some of the more easier things to actually ship, and then add some more products to the line. And then I would have the water in just really beautiful packaging, almost like I see it in my head, where I have like 4, one of each saying, in this beautiful like white box that's like engraved in silver, create for like $15 as a beautiful gift package for, like meters, any place around the area, right? Things like that.
There's a lot of places it could sell, actually.
See, so I'm thinking, okay, gift and then other products. There's so much I could do with it. I mean, I've even thought as large as how cool would it be to have a Create vending machine in hospitals and colleges and high schools.
What about, because you said it's water-based, I'm thinking back to the day when I was in Bath and Body Products. I had water-based instead of using mineral oil, alcohol, lanolin, nothing synthetic, could you expand that same label or that same thought into something like a consumable that's lighter and smaller and easier to ship?
Absolutely.
So that would be so easy. Have you looked at doing Bath and Body at all? Have you looked at sourcing products?
Other than the idea of it? Nope. So it's just, I mean, it gives me goosebumps because I know that's the next step. And the water was great it got me the practice. It was the journey of, okay, we're doing this, right?
So let me tell you how you could start Bath and Body easy.
Let's do it. Yes. You know, it's funny. My husband said, what do you want for Christmas this year, cutie? And I said, a candle making kit.
Well, you could start seriously pretty easy. So you could do your labels yourself in Canva. Just do the size labels. Okay, now there's places online where you can buy the labels in a sheet where they're stickers and you just pull them off. Okay. So you could literally start on a budget because you could get those sheets of labels. I think wholesalelabels.com or something like that. Anyway, you can Google it and put wholesale labels on an 8.5 by 11 template. And then you just put those through the printer. Okay. Then you could
the size.
Yeah, 8.5 by 11 sheet, and do a 2 by 4 label because that'll fit on a bottle.
Yes.
Okay. You can buy your bottles wholesale. Don't buy them at Amazon. Buy them someplace where a distributor would sell to a wholesale, so you get a better margin. Okay.
We actually have a one in Utah that does all great labels here. You might know the place. I don't know what their wholesale prices are, but they do a lot of company. Oh.
I used a lot of label companies in Utah, but I'm saying you don't have to go print on big rolls. That's going to be expensive because you have to pay your die cut. You have to pay the rent charge. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. You can start. I'm telling you how to start on a shoestring. Pull $100 aside.
Let's do it.
Buy your own labels. Buy the sheet labels. Then buy your bottles to put the lotion in. Buy those at someplace like industrialcontainer.com or McKernan.com. McKernan.com is a closeout wholesale place, so you can get the jars for pennies. And thank you, Bonnie. You're so sweet putting all the things in the So McKernan or Industrial Container, you'd get the jars. Then this is how small you could start. Buy the lotion in a gallon, okay, and pump it yourself in the jars and label it. And a gallon is 128 ounces. Divide that by 8. How many bottles of lotion can you get in a gallon? You're going to get 16 bottles. So if you charged, say you charged $15. There's $240 out of a gallon of lotion. And I can tell you this right now, your labels will be about 3 pennies a piece.
Yeah.
If you get them through the sheet label. Your jars from Industrial Container or McKernan will probably be no more than 25 cents.
Okay. Yes.
Then your lid will be about 5 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Get a 24-410 lid that snaps so it can squeeze out, or a pump. If you do a pump, it'll be about 25 cents. If you do a snap lid, it's about 5.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I were you, I'd look around for places that will do lotion by the gallon. I can give you some contacts of where they would do lotion by the 55-gallon drum. I don't know if they'll do it by the gallon, but I'm sure you can buy wholesale lotion even on Amazon from these manufacturers. But Mariposa Labs in Idaho is a great place. And they do lotions for Bath and Body Works. They do lotions for a lot of people in bulk. And I know they'll do 55-gallon drums. Nice. But you don't want to start off with a 55-gallon drum. But I'll tell you how your margin will get better and better the more you buy in bulk.
Okay.
Because if you buy it by the drum, your lotion will be about 11 to 13 cents an ounce. See, so now look at what your margin would be.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that'd be a great way to get in Bath and Body products. That's the space I started in. That's the space I started in. And then I kind of pivoted into candles. So it's a space I love, but I know there's really good margins. Really good margins.
That is great. And it's funny because one of my bottles says I am loved and beautiful. And I even thought this would make such a great lotion that every time.
You know how cool that would be?
You're reaching for a bottle to get your lotion and you see that I am loved and beautiful. And then you put it on and just to really, you're literally forced to read that message as part of your beauty routine.
Yeah.
Like
you
this.
should do it. You should do it. And you have a salon too. I mean, you could sell them in the salon.
I know. So the salon I have is, it's just this little studio. I literally, like a shed in your backyard.
Yeah.
Completely gutted it, remodeled it, and converted it into this really cute studio. So I'm just working by myself right now, which is great. Work from home. And I want so desperately to open a really nice luxury nail only, no acrylic or anything like that, nail spot in the area. Becky, you know the area.
Well, and you know what? Speaking of that source I gave you, it would be good. That Mariposa Labs that I gave you, they would do all the nail stuff for you too. You could have your own brand of nail products.
Polish.
Nail polish. Yes. Yes.
This is great, Becky. You get it. It's like
I do. So you could do the nail polish. You could do all the skincare too. They would do like the cleansers, the moisturizers, the whole bit. And you could have them all with those positive affirmations on them. And
love polish. Yes, body. Yeah.
I could see it being.
My sayings right now I have are: I am strong and confident. I am loved and beautiful. I am calm and peaceful, and I am present and prosperous.
I love those. I love them.
Chakra.
Yeah.
And I want to do a gratitude one. I actually had an I am healthy and an I am grateful one, but those two got cut with budget. So I have a few other sayings. I thought it would be neat for customers. They could put in suggestions for like seasonal, what they want their I ams. I mean, I have so many amazing ideas in my mind. It's just, my focus is like, I just need to fully commit and marry to something right now. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what? I've been in the beauty industry. Trademark quick. I got the trademark. But something that's like, okay, trust me, that was the first thing I did. But that is something, and I even was looking, I don't even know if I should say this on the show, but even with like candles, I was talking to Brandon, and that's like, yep, trademark's not even, candle. That's not, anyway. Yeah. But I thought, that just is something that this whole brand of it is just, it's all about creating a positive message, an encouraging voice for people throughout their day, throughout their routines, something that they can share with like their teenage daughter, their teenage son, like their kids, to have for themselves. Because I am a hardcore believer that what you think about, you think it, feel it, know it, be it.
Mm-hmm. You do.
My labels. And that is your positive voice and that encouraging statements as you start within your mind. Mm-hmm. If you start with that, you eventually start to see it. And it just can go into all these other places in your life. And I know that you got to work hard and you got to put the work in to make things happen. I don't think you just need to sit on a meditation pillow and manifest your success all day. Hell no, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
But, there goes my light. I got fired up. But it's going.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. You know what? You say that, but you know where I started? I started in my kitchen. And the reason I started my business, we lived on a farm, and I came home one day and my 14-year-old daughter was on a tractor. And it freaked me out because I didn't want the girls on tractors.
Yeah.
And all the girls were on them. My oldest was 14 and the girls were every other year. So anyway, I started my business to have a place for the girls to work. So when I started mine, I was doing like you. The girls would sit at the bar and pump the lotion into the 8-ounce jars we hand labeled. And I went from the kitchen to the garage to the barn. So that's kind of how you start. You start before you're ready. So I could seriously see you with the kind of margins you could get on the Bath and Body like that. Start there. And you can start small. Just start saving $100 here and there and you build it up. And it's amazing where it can go when you put in the hard work and you're driving dedicated and just keep pushing it.
Absolutely.
And if you believe in it and do the work, you can do it.
But then here's the other part getting stuck is my health was a major factor for the last few years. And luckily I've gotten that taken care of and I'm starting to get my strength back and it's been amazing. And I'm like getting this energy back and I'm like, okay, I'm in a good place. I am ready to run hard again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really excited for this year because I have all these ideas and all these, I can see it just like you were seeing it with me, you know,
Yeah.
of what it could do. And even, you know, Carrie was like, oh, I love the waters because that at her events, I mean, I received a couple of emails from some of her guests that were just like, thank you, thank you. You know, I have clients right now. I have a client still to this day who was one of the first to ever purchase a bottle. And she washes it and reuses it and washes it and reuses it. And she loves it. And she just holds on to them as long as she can.
Yeah.
And so there's something there. And I've been told, yeah, there's something to this. There's something here. There's something here. It's just a matter of actually implementing, getting it done. And I don't know.
Finding something where you have margin and where it's a product that you believe in and you could do. I just thought of another thing you could do to start too. Because we were talking about the nail polish, you could seriously start with nail polish because it's so small and easy to ship. You could start buying at wholesale and do private label and put your brand on it, whatever the name of your studio or whatever it is, and get your little labels made up, buy it without a label, buy it wholesale. And I know where you can get it at, have you ever been to the LA Fashion District?
Oh, yes. I used to live in LA.
Yeah. So the LA Fashion District has a lot of places that have the private label lotion and get it without labels and put your label on it. And then you're in the nail polish business. You can get to the point eventually where you can get your own nail polish, your own colors, pick your own Pantone colors and get it made up by that Mariposa or a lab like that. I know a lot of labs if you decide to go like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the whole seasonal gifts, but having like reusable bottles, I've thought about doing that too with like the woman I was speaking about earlier. Her company could do that. So I've thought about that and I'm like, I don't know. I wonder how they would sell. I wonder how they would do. So there's that idea as well. So there's so many different things, but something about, I see a whole, I see so many different, like a whole, what would you call that? Like,
there's a plethora of things you could do. You just have to do it. You have to take action because that's what separates those that make it versus those that don't. So we're going to put you on the hot seat and get a commitment. What are you going to do?
Okay. Let's commit to a new line to start. I love the idea of being in the beauty routine with like a lotion, nail polish, scrub. Yeah. I'm going to start there. I'm going to start there.
I started with lotion, shower gel, bubble bath, bath salts. Oh, bath salts are another thing. Yeah.
Okay. I thought about like, I can make my own soap. And I started researching how to make soap. And I was like, oh, no.
I made my own soaps. I was doing soap back in the day.
You did not.
Yeah. So what you can do, this soap that would, let me tell you, that's part of my story because I started Bath & Body. So the soap that was in the like loaf pans, that size, the great big ones with the chunks inside. Yes. I started that trend 20 plus years ago.
You did that. I saw online and I'm like, that's an art form. I'm like,
no, seriously. What you do, I'll tell you how I did it. This is how, remember I was in the kitchen, then I moved to the garage. Okay. So I was buying the glycerin in bulk, great big, buckets, and I'd break it off, put it in a pan on my stove, melt it down, put in the color. Yes. And then I would pour it in my cookie sheets. So all my cookie sheets got ruined for soap. So then I would cut it in different size chunks, the colors, and then I would put it in the pan, and then I would pour clear or a lighter colored glycerin on top. And then I got a little jig made up so that you could slide it in and it would just slice it. So then you had the little slices of soap, and you can do that really easy. There's places online where you can buy that dye-free glycerin that's completely natural.
Becky, we're like, okay.
You could seriously be in the soap business too.
So thanking you. I'm so thanking you. Yes, mentors. Okay.
Yeah.
And all of you at eCommerce Show are going to hold me accountable.
Yep.
Right? That Jenny is taking Create Beverage. You know what's funny is I also own Heal by Reiki.
Yeah. See, you could do any of those names.
And so that's another good one. And the website gets so many hits, and there's not even a site. It's just still my name right now, Heal by Reiki.
Hopefully you've got a landing page so you're collecting names and building a list.
I know. I just redirected all the Create beverages, but then people are like, "Oh, well, I want more," you know. So that's what I'll do. I'll do a landing page.
Start collecting names. Start getting ready for a product.
And we'll start going body.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
And I love the nail polish idea. I'm going to check out a place in Idaho because that would be so
There's
fun.
also a bunch of labs in San Francisco that will do nail polish and facial stuff. I'm trying to remember the names of them, but I can look up because I used a bunch of labs in San Francisco.
That's amazing, Kate. Yeah. We can talk more, Becky.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Just pick something and do it. We're excited.
Okay, here's another hang up though. What about, my kids aren't quite old enough to start with the child labor yet. Yeah. I'm like, just grow faster. I need your help. Actually, they totally could. My 4-year-old, she can help me. You
should have seen the stuff I had my kids doing. I had them separating wicks. I had them doing everything. My kids were working young. But you know what? I ended up, my very first employee was a friend. And she, when I moved from the kitchen to the garage, I built a little office back there because I had one of those garages where you'd have the two and then one in front. So I just put a wall up and made the back of the garage where the third car could have fit into my little office. And she and I would sit in my office and I would give her stuff to do and have her get on the phone and start running stuff down for me. But yeah, start small like that. And then nowadays, do you know what you have available that there wasn't back then? Yeah. There's Upwork. And
I remember pre-internet.
Yeah, Upwork.com and Fiverr, and where you can outsource different things. Oh, yeah. It's amazing what you can outsource. Seriously.
I've Fiverr before. Prints you can send your I love.
Yeah, Fiverr is awesome.
But the prints with that. Okay, yeah, Fiverr, I've used that.
You can do Fiverr, you can do Upwork, and you can find people that you could hire a VA to do. See, now you don't have to hire part-time, full-time. You can hire them by the job. That's huge now. That makes it so that you can have a virtual team, helping you with work, unless it's physical things that you need. And then I'll tell you how you can find cheap labor too, is you go to the universities and get interns.
Oh, yes, I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, why do I not have an intern?
Yeah, the interns love the credit. And if they can be mentored by you, see, there you go. You're mentoring the intern. And they get school credit, and they'll work for free because they get school credit.
I literally, here's where Jenny lives. Here's BYU University, UVU, University of Utah, Weber State. Are Weber States down by you?
Yeah, I know. There's lots of them.
No excuse for me.
No, and I'm telling you, I at any given time had 10 or 12 interns. Seriously, because all you do, I would go talk to the dean and I would put a sign up on the board and then the kids would come apply and I would keep them for the semester. And what I told them is they would get school credit, and the more credit they have, you sign off on it so that then they get school credit for the internship. So then it's less classes they have to sit in. The ones that were really good, I always had that carrot in front of them. If they were really good, I would hire them at the end of the internship.
Nice.
And I can't tell you how many of the people I hired in there that were interns that started out that way, but it's a great way to get labor. And the reason I liked interns so much too is because those young kids are so young and hungry and they're so tech savvy, and it's just fun having kids that are creative and excited to learn. And I got a lot of good employees out of the interns, and I would say that's a great way to get labor out of the bat or, out of the gate.
All right.
So,
okay. I can do it. And I'm starting with $250.
$250 can get you started. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just pick something. Don't get too many products with that. Pick either nail polish to do private label or pick Bath and Body and buy the components and then start building your brand, and you can do it. And we expect you to return and report back to us. Don't we, guys?
Bill and done. And Becky, you're such a great mentor. I love seeing that you are doing this with the show and everything. I mean, just Brandon put in the work, absolutely. But he had your guidance.
He has just exploded from where he was.
I mean,
Yeah.
remember when he started? And now he's in his third, fourth space. It's amazing. So
yeah, he's got a big warehouse and he's doing really well.
Exactly. I was funny. One of the first times I met, I was like, Becky, can I be your girl, Brandon?
Well, you've got a lot of good information today.
I did.
A lot of good information.
Like, let's see what you do with this information, Jenny.
Yeah.
Are you going to use it? Are you going to do it? I'm going to do it. I'm going to report back. And I think even though, Brandon's crazy busy, thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us on the show. And for those of you that want to find me, you can find me at BeckyJAnderson.com. You can find Jenny. Where can you find Jenny?
Hansen.com. Also, all over Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, it's all Jenny A. Hansen with an E. And on Instagram a lot lately. I'll Snapchat. Becky sees my stories and I'll put them up on Instagram. So I'm kind of all over the place with as far as social goes. But the big thing I've been doing is blogging. I've been recording a lot of what I've been doing.
That's good.
I'm really committed to documenting this whole next year, if not more. And so,
and then look where you'll be.
Look where I'll be.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really good.
So that's
so I encourage you to go find us all and keep Jenny's feet to the fire. And like I said, BeckyJAnderson.com. Oh, and by the way, I have masterminds that are opening up again on April 5th, 6th, and 7th. So I'll be running them on Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Friday. You can find information about that at BeckyJAnderson.com/mastermind. We'll have of 8 so that we can put people on the hot seat and help build their businesses grow. So they'll run for 8 weeks. So really excited about that.
I mean, I just got so much great free mentorship right now and everyone watching. So thank you.
Thank you for sitting on the hot seat and joining me as a substitute co-host.
Anytime.
All right. Bye, guys. That's a wrap. See ya.